Can you tell me a story?
Sure. Once upon a time, a mom needed a new car.
Was she brave?
She was tired, mostly. But she went to Carvana.com and found a great car at a great price. No secret treasure map required.
Did she have to fight a dragon?
Nope, she bought it 100% online. From her bed, actually.
Was it scary?
Honey, it was as unscary as car buying could be.
Did the car have a sunroof?
It did, actually.
Okay, good story.
Car buying you'll want to tell stories about. Buy your car today on
Carvana.
Delivery fees may apply.
Cartoon Boom!
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Cartoon Boom. This is a show where a regular Saturday morning sun plopped down on the floor with the big bowl of sugar is here and will try your favorite cartoons, both old and new. I'm your anthropomorphic woodland detective ready to take the case, Joseph.
And I'm just a bloke looking for cheese. My name's Chris.
And today we watched Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. Some crimes. That's such a catchy song. Like, I will never forget that song. I will be on my deathbed.
The only thing I knew was the chorus.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
I know like every word to it, just about.
Okay, can you do every word for me?
I'm not going to do every word to it. I'm not going to
Oh.
prove it right now. But
Are you sure?
Let's not have this confused for the movie that came out recently, which we already reviewed as well.
Yeah.
So just FYI, original series.
Yeah. How did we not do the original series first? I don't know. I don't know how we did that.
Being topical is, or accurate in any way is not one of our strong suits ever. I know this is just the first episode of 2023 technically, but it's also going to be tough for anything else to take the nostalgia award from this one for me.
There you go. I like that too, because I didn't really watch this as a kid. So like this one wouldn't be on my nostalgia list because it's like one of those things I knew about, but I didn't really watch it. I avoided it. As
Why?
a kid. Yeah. I don't know. I think I've shared before. I just, for whatever reason, when I was a kid, I stayed away from all the Disney cartoons. I didn't like it. I wouldn't watch them like almost on principle, like this and Goof Troop, and it was this and actually in another big one, Tailspin. Those two I avoided specifically.
Oh, weird. Yeah.
I think it was because when I was a little kid, my next door neighbor, like we would play together, and then she would like be like, "Hey, I can't play any more Chip and Dale's on," and she would leave me, and I'd be like, "You jerk! I'm still in play mode. Why are you going inside?"
So the Disney cartoons gave you abandonment issues as a child.
Yeah, they ruined my playtime because my cartoons were in the mornings, and she was like, afternoon, it's Chip and Dale time. See you, loser. And I'd be like, oh.
Okay, so Chip and Dale stole your friend. Got it.
Yeah, so that's how that played out. So,
do you know who suggested this to us? I know it was the top of our list, but suggested by who?
Well, let me go take a look because I forgot to write that down because it's been a few weeks. We've been on vacation.
Yeah,
so
true.
I forgot how things work around here. All right. Hang on. Jack, put something fun in. Put in a fun sound effect while I look. Okay, this was suggested by Irah, Nicholas, both from Facebook, and DinoBolt1 via YouTube. So thank you all.
Yes, thank you all. And everyone who voted it up to the top. Thank you. This was a long time coming.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
So the show, Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, aired from 1989 to 1990, created by Tad Stones and Alan Zaslov. Zaslov? I'm not sure.
I don't know about that one.
Produced by Walt Disney Television Animation and Walt Disney Television, ran for 3 seasons, 65 episodes, originally on the Disney Channel from in the spring of 1989, and syndicated from 89 to 90 for the rest of its time. For short synopsis, Disney's fun-loving chipmunks are reimagined as the leaders of a team of pint-sized crime fighters.
Is it weird that I didn't, I guess it makes sense, but I didn't realize that they existed outside of this show, before the Rescue Rangers?
I don't know that I've watched much of like them together outside of this show, but I knew they existed because that was just what they were doing in the like late 80s, early 90s with all these Disney figures. Like Tailspin is just like Jungle Book, but with an airplane.
I love that. That's the description. Like, I hope that's the IMDb like tag with it.
Yeah.
Like, whenever we finally do Tailspin, you're gonna be like Jungle Book with an airplane.
That's pretty much it. That and what else? Goof Troop, obviously. I mean, that's Goofy as a single dad. DuckTales. Yeah, exactly. Everybody is just brought into these like different roles than their original cartoon.
Yeah, there was that one show they tried to do where like was it Mickey Mouse was became a he was doing like a Ponzi scheme and stuff. He was like selling collectible coins on infomercials and stuff. And
I don't know what you're talking about. Are you making this up?
Yeah, yeah. I just wanted to see how long I could go with it.
I mean, I wouldn't have been surprised, I guess, but I just hadn't heard of it.
I'm sure, though, I could guarantee, though, that there is a slew of commemorable Disney coins that were sold on television that were bought up by a bunch of the elderly. Because I guarantee that my aunt and or grandmother had purchased some of those back in the day.
Do you think the target audience for commemorative coins are elderly people?
I think so, because they are convinced they'll be worth something one day. Mark my words. I legit have a Ninja Turtles commemorative coin from the first movie. It's just this big silver coin with the Ninja Turtles on it.
And did your grandparents get that for you?
Yeah, my grandma bought it when that movie came out, and she's just like, it'll be worth something one day.
This is your retirement fund.
And let me tell you something. Several years ago, an event took place in my life, and I was strapped for cash. So I was selling things left and right, and those you see the gold guys, they came to town. I took a whole bunch of stuff over there, and they saw that commemorative coin, and they're like, I'm sorry, this is worthless. Like, like we can't, there's not, maybe you can sell it online. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Grandma, why?
It's like you could pay us to take it off your hands and burn it down, melt it for actual silver.
I'd have to pay them to take.
Yeah.
Anyway, how did we get here?
I
don't know.
Oh, about your Mickey Mouse Ponzi scheme. Yeah, the Mickey Mouse Ponzi scheme.
Yeah.
I do remember like Mickey, Donald, and Goofy being Ghostbusters at one point. Do you remember that?
Really?
Yeah.
No, that sounds fun.
Yeah, I think it was just a one-off thing, but I remember that from some kind of Halloween special. Anyway, who were some of the actors who played in this cartoon?
Well, this is going to be a real easy one because there's not very many. The voices of both Chip and Gadget were Tress MacNeille. I did not know she voiced Chip. I had no idea that was her.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, I thought it was a dude just pitched up real high, but no, it was Tress, and that's awesome. Would not have guessed. The voices of Dale and Zipper were both done by Corey Burton, and then the voice of Monterey Jack, aka Monty, had two voice actors, and this is what confused me, because when I went to look, it wasn't like they're credited for being, like both of them are credited as being through the entire series. And so I'm like, what the heck? So I thought maybe one did season 1, one did season 2, but they kind of come in and out throughout the whole series, and those two are Peter Cullen and Jim Cummings. So I think that Jim Cummings, was typically Monterey Jack, but I think Peter Cullen did several episodes intermittently also. Or maybe it's the other way around. I don't know. I'm really confused as to the thought process there or what happened.
Yeah, I don't know, but I do know they had Jim Cummings doing a lot of voices. Like you hear him throughout the show.
Including my very last character here, which is Fat Cat. Again, Jim Cummings. Jim Cummings has had such a cool career, and I don't think I would have realized that until we started doing this show, just how interesting, how versatile he is, because I always thought of him as I knew he did Winnie the Pooh and he did Tigger for a while, but I didn't think of him as doing so many villains, because he does tons of villain characters, and that's cool.
Yeah, and also Darkwing Duck.
Exactly.
And he was Leatherhead in the Ninja Turtles cartoon. I remember that because of the Louisiana accent. Yeah, he's been in so many things.
He's got a super cool voice, like real raspy, like a naturally raspy voice. So I don't know. Did you used to smoke, Jim? How'd you do that?
Yeah, how'd you develop
I had the same
that?
question for Steve Bloom. Like, I'm not gonna say you should go smoke because you shouldn't, because it's really bad for you. But like, how does Steve Bloom have this kind of voice? Like, just as his regular voice? Like, how's he always sound like this? I don't know, man. You tell me.
Some people are just gifted, I guess. Gifted with that natural smoker voice without even having to smoke.
Or maybe he's got those polyps on his voice. Like, he screamed so much that now he's got those little
like throat
tags
polyps
on his vocal cords.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I hope not.
Maybe I just need to go scream. I'm going to eat some cigarettes and scream for a long time.
Yeah, just go to some like death metal concerts and just scream along.
Yeah. There we go.
That's the ticket.
That's where I'll be.
So, for a few tasty marshmallows out of our big bowl of Chippendale Rescue Rangers cereal, like many cartoons of the late 80s and early 90s, the show was canceled following the production of its 65th episode, despite being a rating success. Industry logic at the time held that cartoons were only successful for sale in syndication packages, the minimum number of which was 65 episodes. So they literally just made it, sold it off, and canceled it after that 65 episode mark just because that was the business tactic at the time, even though it was doing well.
I've heard that a lot, honestly. Yeah, that's just such a weird, I don't know, that's a weird logic to me. That makes me think that they didn't actually study their audiences at all in real time. They're just going off of like a previous study and then just decided that, okay, that's how we're going to do things. But then again, I mean, I don't know, maybe that saves them cost by doing that. I don't know.
I don't think any of the audience or ratings or anything came into play. I think it was literally just a business decision made by the money people and that nothing else mattered. It's like, get this out, push it to this many episodes.
Interesting.
Yeah. Chippendale had previously starred or co-starred in 23 animated short films, the last being Chips Ahoy from 1956. Rescue Rangers marks their first prominent use in animation in 33 years.
Wow.
It had been 33 years since Chippendale were even used.
Jeez,
really.
That's crazy. They really dug deep in that vault then to fish those little guys out, huh?
Yeah, like the series creator Tad Stone's original concept for the series did not even include Chippendale in the cast. His original suggestion was a series based on The Rescuers from 1977, but Jeffrey Katzenberg rejected that as work on The Rescuers Down Under 1990 was beginning in the feature department. So he then developed a pitch called Metro Mice, featuring a mouse character named Kit Colby as the main protagonist, as well as early versions of Gadget and Monterey Jack, along with a chameleon. But Katzenberg and Michael Eisner wanted known Disney characters as the stars. So it was Eisner who actually suggested Chip and Dale. So they just kind of ended up in this show. They were not the original intent. So they were literally pulled from the vault, like you said.
Okay, can I tell you, when you started talking about Kit Colby, just because of the way that name sounds, can I tell you about where my ADD brain went? And I swear to God, I will try to focus so hard from here on out.
Okay.
I started thinking about like a little animated series, but it's like basically Blade Runner with mice. Like that's what I'm thinking about. Like, you know, cyberpunk noir, but it's all mice. Like Kit Colby, he's got like a almost like Cyclops visor looking thing on, in a trench coat. He's smoking his cigarette out in the rain. There's like LED things all over the place.
I feel like something like that exists already. I don't know
so?
what it is, but yeah, I feel like I've seen imagery like that before. Maybe it's just some kind of weird like art I've seen online.
They're just stealing my ideas before I come up with them.
Yeah. And lastly, the appearance of Chip and Dale were modeled after Indiana Jones and Magnum P.I., as Chip wears a leather jacket and a hat, and Dale a Hawaiian shirt. Coincidentally, both of these characters are associated with actor Tom Selleck. He plays Magnum P.I. and was under consideration for the role of Indiana Jones.
Oh, I didn't know that last part. I'm glad we got Harrison Ford instead. That's way better.
Yeah, definitely.
Interesting, though.
But yeah, like you can see that. And we probably talked about that even. I wish we'd done this episode before we did the movie, because we probably even mentioned that during the movie episode. But
yeah, maybe. I'm not sure.
Regardless, if you didn't know why they were dressed that way, that's why.
There we go. Now you know.
So let's start talking about the show. Very first episode being Piratsy Under the Seas, season 1, episode 1. And I have to say it like that because that's how it's spelled. It's not piracy, it's piratsy because they're pirate rats. Yeah.
I love the pirates.
Oh man. The funniest joke in this entire, like the 3 episodes that we watched was in this one for me. Like that's what made me laugh the hardest. And when we get there, I'll tell you what it is. So in this one, Dale accidentally falls into a city garbage truck while cleaning up. That's literally the description. It says
That's
nothing.
it, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
So they're a detective agency, purportedly, but you don't see any of that in this episode, really. They mention it a couple times, but this is unrelated to it. Like they're literally just like lounging about and getting on to Dale for, being messy and not throwing away his garbage. So in him having to do that, that's when he falls in the garbage can. Chip laughs at him, and then he gets taken away by a garbage man in a truck.
Yeah. It's kind of funny that in 2 of the episodes we watched, they really weren't doing the detective agency thing. They just kind of stumbled into, the plot point.
Well, yeah. And even in the one that they did do it, they did it briefly and then it went into a different direction.
Yeah, that's interesting to me. I wonder how many times that happens.
I'm not sure. It's clearly not the primary focus of it. It's kind of just like, this is our job, but we have adventures outside of work. So it's rare that they're actually doing their actual work.
Can we talk about our main characters real quick and what they're like?
Yeah, let's do it.
So I would say Chip, probably the sort of like the de facto leader-ish, kind of like at least the straight man of the group, like the one that gets stuff done. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, Chip is the lawful good. He is.
I love that you're putting it in.
Even though, D&D is a hot button topic right now, but I use that only because it's a good point of reference.
I feel like you can use that for like anything, though. It's just an alignment chart. You can use it for Pathfinder too, I'm sure. So, you know what?
Yeah. So, he's just like you said, he's a straight man. He's the Leonardo of the group. He's the leader and likes to follow the rules, basically.
Right. Then you got Dale, who is the wild card. He is
the Michelangelo.
He's a little bit, he's a little lazy and a goofball. He's a joker. And he's constantly like, if they get into trouble for some reason, a lot of times it's because of something he did or did not do.
Yeah, there's an episode, one of these episodes we watch, Gadget pins it pretty well when she's trying to look for the good that everyone offers to the group. And his is just like, he's got a good sense of humor.
Yeah, exactly. Like how he contributes. Like, you have a good sense of humor.
Yeah.
Gadget is their engineer. She builds everything. She's probably the smartest of everybody.
She's the smartest, but she's also kind of scatterbrained. And that's something that I think is portrayed really well in the writing, because at first when I was watching it, even in the movie, like I was noticing this, like she kind of seems like she's on a different wavelength than everybody else, the way that she's talking, like almost not to people, but like around them. And at first I was like, well, that's just weird writing. But then the more I thought about it, I kind of pin it on her just being a scatterbrained like genius. And so she's kind of in her own little world. So I think instead of me thinking it's bad writing now, I think it's just really good writing for that character.
Yeah, like she's incredibly intelligent, but like she is very unorganized and common sense kind of goes out the window sometimes.
Yep.
Yeah. Then there's Zipper, who is like really small, but I have a hard time fitting him into like an archetype like I can the others. But I mean, what he typically does for them is he can get into small places. He can fly. And he's he's speedy because he's so small. He's a little fly.
Yeah.
So he tends to get them out of sticky situations pretty easily. Like every time they get into a trap, it's usually him the one that gets them out of it.
Yeah. You could kind of call him like their scout in a way. Because he can fly, obviously, and he's very small, so he can get in and out of situations very quickly. So, but he's kind of like, I don't know, like he has multiple uses. And there are times where he comes into play in just about every episode we watch in some fashion. But I don't think there's any like primary thing he's doing. He's kind of just there to pick up where any of the others are lacking.
Right. Like he's like the Swiss Army knife of the group.
Yeah,
basically.
exactly.
Yeah. Jack of all trades, maybe. And then we got Monty, who's sort of the muscle, though he's kind of inept. Like he's big and he's strong, but he's kind of an idiot. But I love that about him so much.
He's big, strong, and worldly. Like he's got a lot of experiences, but a lot of it you're like, is that real? Like, did that really happen? You don't know what to believe or if he's like stretching the truth, you know?
That's a huge part of his personality. And that's what I like about him too, is he has a huge personality. He's so like over the top with like how he talks and the things that he says, and he's always telling stories, and he can always, like, every situation he can relate to something that he did back in the day, which is really fun.
But some of them are like, they seem very over the top, almost like a big fish kind of situation, but you're like, okay, there's probably like a grain of truth to everything he's saying, even if he's exaggerating a bit.
He's also, I think, the bravest out of all of them. Like he doesn't usually back down from anything. Like he's braver than he is smart.
Yeah, he's kind of the shoot first, ask questions later mentality.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the Rescue Rangers team.
Oh, and he has a crippling addiction to cheese. That should be mentioned.
Exactly. Yes, I love that. And that actually comes into play in this episode too, which was that antecedes one of my favorite parts of this episode. But like the gist of this episode is that Chip and Dale ended up getting captured by these pirates who were stuck on a capsized pirate ship under the water. They are held there, basically captive, and the rest have to go rescue them. And just the shenanigans that take place during that whole sequence are super fun, especially the scene, which was my favorite, where like Monty dresses up as their long lost captain.
Yeah. That's when the funniest part happened to me. If you had more to say about that, go ahead. But Go for it. Okay. So the funniest part of this show for me personally, and that's just, my sense of humor is weird sometimes, but was when young Ned came in. The general idea here is that these pirates are staying on this ship to guard this treasure, like all this gold, this pile of actual gold that their previous leader, Captain Lafitte or something, Lafitte,
long lost Lafitte.
That's what it was. Yeah. And so he had commanded them to stay there. And so I guess they, and I don't know, generations of them had been watching his treasure for 200 years or something. So supposedly.
That's what I was trying to figure out, because they said they've been there for 200 years. And I'm like, wait a second.
It's like, how long do mice live?
Okay. So I literally Googled the lifespan of rats.
I'm pretty sure it's not 200 years.
I was so taken aback. Okay, so like black rats live like 6 months, and brown rats, which all of these were pretty much brown rats, only live at maximum for like 2 years. Okay. So I'm like, how is all the sea salt preserving them? I don't know.
Do you think they are living on a different sort of time scale where it's like, mouse years kind of situation?
It could be. At first, I thought maybe these were ghost rats, but since that didn't play out, I didn't think about that case, what you're saying, but that makes more sense to me. Like, in all actuality, it's only been like 2 months, but to them, it's like, oh, we've been here for 200 years.
Yeah, it's just the rapid aging. Yeah, so that's the only way it would make logical sense to me. Not that it has to make logical sense, but if you're going by that logic, yeah.
Or if it was generations, but they'd run out of food and die. So,
and plus that wouldn't explain young Ned, who knew the captain,
That's true. So yeah, it has to be like this whole thing takes place in mouse years.
Exactly.
The whole show. Okay.
So back to the best joke in this whole thing is, so young Ned is trying to make Monty, who's dressed up as the captain, prove that he's the actual captain. And young Ned is very, very old and half blind. So he's coming in here and just like, there are 3 ways to know if you're the captain or not. He has a funny squint in his eye when he's looking at you. And so Monty squints and he's like, all right, that tracks. He's a short man. So Monty kind of like crouches down a little bit. He's like, all right. And then the best part was when he was like, he only had one leg. And Monty's standing on one of his legs. And then young Ned looks at him. He's like, but it's his left one. And Monty switches legs and he's like, Captain Lafayette, you've come back. So
Yeah.
But just the way that he was like, his left one, and then he switches legs and he immediately believes him. That was great.
I loved everything about this entire sequence. I thought was brilliant and super funny. But there was a part that made me laugh out loud right at the beginning, which was when Monty did dress up as the captain. He had Zipper on his shoulder dressed as a parrot.
Oh, yeah.
And what got me and made me laugh out loud really hard was when one of the pirates was like, he looks awfully small to be a parrot. And Monty was like, he's been sick. And he just sounded so defeated when he said he's been sick.
Yeah.
So I laughed out loud so hard because it caught me off guard.
Yeah.
It was just great voice acting in that moment. So that was great.
This is just like, it's just a really well done show, voice acting wise, especially. Like you are completely in it with them. So they eventually get to the point where it's like, all right, they believe it's the captain, we're leaving, blah, blah, blah. Like it's over. And then that's when cheese, like we were mentioning, comes into play.
Yeah, Ned brings out that big of cheese. He's like, I've been saving this ever since you left, Captain. It's just for you. So Monty, runs for it and his costume falls off. It gets them all caught again. So that's one of those cases where he has that crippling addiction to cheese.
Yeah.
As we said. And that shows up in that the Rescue Rangers movie that came out last year too. Is
right. But
his cheese addiction.
Like that's a really good way to handicap an otherwise like almost too perfect team. Like they have to have their weaknesses and they all do, which makes it a lot more interesting for storytelling purposes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Everyone needs a fault and something that can really mess something up. So, and like we see in the next episode, like we see Gadget's issues too, which is really her confidence.
Yeah, which was an interesting direction to go with it. To wrap this one up, they eventually do get away because they're able to like ditch that gold off of the ship because that's what was literally holding the ship underwater, this heavy gold.
Yeah.
And at the very end, like Dale, for whatever reason, just like cannonballs garbage onto their ship. And it's like,
he's a jerk.
Yeah, just because he's a jerk. Like they were leaving on good terms and saying goodbye to each other. And then Dale just comes up and like cannonballs his trash onto their ship and laughs about it. But they're not laughing. Like the pirates are just like, what the heck, dude? We were leaving on good terms.
Dale is such a jerk. I love it. He's the best.
So the second episode we watched was The Case of the Cola Cult, season 2, episode 14, which was the highest rated.
Yes, it was.
Interesting. I did like it, but I guess I would have had to seen the rest. So in this one, while testing the new Ranger Mobile, the Rangers crash into a cola factory. These are like the briefest descriptions. So in this one, it's Cuckoo Cola. We all know it's Coca-Cola, but it's Cuckoo Cola in this one for copyright purposes. And they stumble across a room of soda worshipping mice, which is really creepy. Like when it first introduced, I was kind of like, man, this is like really almost like a horror movie setup.
Especially when they're like worshiping during the commercial. Like the commercial comes on and they're all singing and chanting.
Yeah, they're chanting along with the commercial.
What was the song? It was like, come along, sing a song.
Yeah, you belong with Cuckoo Cola or something.
Yeah, and then there was Feel the Fizz of Cuckoo Cola.
Yeah. And then the fizz is kind of like they have this thing where it's this like bucket of the Cuckoo Cola, and they like when they're getting rid of their earthly possessions, when they join the cult, that's part of what they have to do is get rid of their riches or whatever they have. And they're supposed to like, it goes and gets dunked into this like vial of the cola and then it just disappears. So presumably it's being like melted or whatever by the fizz, which is what they call it.
Yeah. They also take a lot of showers in the fizz.
Yeah, which was cool because they don't mention that at first, but then you see like a lot of them are just various colors. Like there's a purple ones and orange ones and reddish ones. And you're like, why are they that color? And then it makes sense later when they kind of show them bathing in the cola.
Yeah, because there's 3 flavors. There's orange, cherry, and grape.
Exactly.
Or just purple.
Yeah, purple drink.
It doesn't taste like, it never tastes like grapes. It's a totally different flavor all to itself called purple drink. So
the leader of this cult is Pop Top, and his like second in command is this like big beefy dude named Bubbles.
Yeah. Voiced again by Jim Cummings. Yeah. So, but yeah, this, I really enjoyed this episode actually. And I do think it was my favorite of the three we watched. I think specifically because I just thought it was so interesting that they tackled like a cult as like a plot device, and because of what happens with Gadget and that she ends up joining the cult. So basically what happens there is like at one point they go in, they try to infiltrate this cult again, and she's using this gadget she makes called a gyromobile, and it starts falling apart. It gets Whizzer hurt. There's Zipper. Why did I call him Whizzer?
Wizard.
Whizzer. Let's call him Whizzer from now on. No, it gets Zipper injured. She feels like it's all her fault and a failure and stuff. They're back at their detective agency and everything. And she's just talking about all that. And just I'm going into all these details just because it sets up what I thought was so compelling about this. So I'm trying to blast through as quick as I can. She feels like because her stuff is breaking down, and in the beginning of the episode, another one of her inventions broke down as well. So it's not just this one. We as the audience know that second invention got sabotaged. So it wasn't really her fault, but she has no idea. She feels like a failure, and that if her inventions don't work, then she has nothing to contribute to the rescue rangers. So she quits and leaves, goes off on her own. And like, she's just, we see her in like this alley. She's crying. She sees the cola cult going by at some point. And I mean, this is the beauty of this episode. And what I liked is it kind of breaks down the idea of why people end up in cults, which is like this sense of almost like desperation to fit in somewhere.
Right.
And like how cults can really prey on that.
Yeah, because it reinforces what we had heard earlier from the cult when they had initially visited, is that like you belong. So in her feeling that she didn't belong anywhere, this was a good opportunity for them to sweep her up into their rank.
Yeah, and which is exactly what happens. She ends up going with them. She joins them. She gives up her, possession was basically her toolbox and stuff. And she gets doused in the fizz and everything. And she's joining the cult, but she's so depressed. Like, she's not normal Gadget anymore. And the others are just like not having it. And one of the cult members too was coming to them like after the fact and saying like, hey, there's something wrong going on here. Can you guys investigate it? So like they were worried about this person, and then find out Gadget has joined them, and they're worried about Gadget as well. So they're like dressed up like in the robes trying to infiltrate this cult. And what I really liked about it too is that it threw me for a loop. So the person pulling the strings is not who I thought it was going to be. I really did think it was Pop Top pulling the strings, especially because he's the one that like got Gadget to join and everything. But it was actually his second in command. It was Bubbles actually pulling the strings behind everything, because he had like this hidden compartment. So when people put their possessions and stuff, like some of their members were formerly wealthy and stuff, it was actually like dumping all of their stuff into this secret like room that he was collecting all of it. So he was becoming rich off of it, which also is kind of like, imitating life, because a lot of cults do that. So
right. And I guess the interesting turn was that generally it would be the leader of the cult who is the one doing that. So I also appreciated that they didn't make it Pop Top. Like, he had good intentions. And
yeah, he really did.
And he was all about belonging and whatnot. So he was kind of falling for everything that Bubbles was doing, thinking that was reality. So that's where it was like, oh, that's an interesting twist, because it seemed like very straightforward, because he was even making some like the way that he was maneuvering and stuff popped up initially. Like, they kind of made it feel like he was the one doing it. So but he had been a red herring that whole time.
Some of the looks like he was animated with made it look like he was up to something sinister.
Right.
But I think he was just a weirdo.
Yeah. So, he's just a weird cult
he's
member.
He's just a weird old dude.
Yeah.
So, who loves soda so much.
So once Gadget finds out that it wasn't her invention had been sabotaged, like that's when she's able to like come back and like I guess start using her inventions again or her genius again to help save the day.
Oh, when she comes back though, that scene was so cool, which was like the rest of the Rangers got kidnapped. She escaped. She comes up back with like this big machine, and she's like, she has so many gadgets all just strapped to her, and she comes in like looking super mad, like a scowl on her face, and she's just taking everybody out using all kinds of little things. And I just thought that was so cool. And I was like, man, they need to like use Gadget as like the muscle more often, because she was super awesome in that moment. It was such a cool return.
Right. She was super driven, and
yeah,
she even like initially like cut off scrambled their, I don't know, TV or something to where their commercial wouldn't even run anymore. So she came prepared this time.
And it kind of like unbrainwashed a bunch of the other cult members just so that they would, I don't know, kind of like snap out of it and listen to her while she told everyone what was actually happening behind the scenes. Because if it was going, like, they weren't going to listen. So
right, exactly. So this episode was really good and played out very well, especially for such a strange concept of a cuckoo cola cult. So it was just a more serious topic, more serious episode than I would have expected from this kind of show. Sure, and gave them a lot more, or at least Gadget a lot more emotional depth.
Oh, big time. Yeah.
So the last episode we watched for today's show was When You Fish Upon a Star, season 2, episode 42, which was Patreon picked by Jack Fox. So thank you, Jack.
Yeah, and I know that Jack picked this one because this was one of the actual episodes that they mentioned in the movie.
Yeah, I think one of the only episodes they mentioned in the movie that was actually a real one.
So I was just like, you know what? That would be a fun connection. That I want to do that one. So that's why we chose it.
I do want to point out to anyone who's watching this on Disney Plus, which is where I watched it, that Disney Plus has it all compiled into one season. The episodes are all there, but it's just one season. You just have to kind of move later into the season to find it. Yeah, I thought it was weird too. I was worried when I saw it. I was like, oh no, like they don't have season 2 or 3 or whatever. But yeah, it's all just compacted into one season.
Huh, okay.
Don't know why. But it's also remastered on Disney Plus and stuff too. So it's like, that's a good way to watch it. You just have to go in prepared. In this one, a distress signal from a sinking ship sends the Rangers out to sea. This is where the actual rescue Rangers portion comes in.
Yeah, they actually do a rescue this time.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I liked this episode specifically because there was a lot of Monty stuff in this one.
This was definitely a Monty heavy episode and gave a lot more depth to his character and really some good sort of proof behind the stories that he tells.
Yeah. And I like too that he's just so sure of himself. Like his confidence is just through the roof. Like if he was, we'll go back to being nerdy again. If he was a TTRPG character and we're looking at his character sheet, his charisma is just maxed out. His intelligence is not. That's his dump stat. But that charisma is way up there.
So confident that even when Gadget builds them a compass to get them exactly where they need to go, he's like, no, I'm good. He's the kind of guy that would toss out a map because he's like, I know the directions. I know where to go.
I know where I'm going.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I love that so much. They go and rescue this man because this ship sank. I thought it was kind of weird that they just kind of like threw a balloon out there like as a life preserver thing for this guy and then threw his child off the boat to join him. And then we're kind of like, hey, the Coast Guard will come get you. And then they just leave them in the ocean.
Yeah. Rescue complete.
Yeah,
their job's done.
Complete. Yeah, don't worry. There's no sharks in the ocean, but see ya. Oh man, whatever. They're dead. We never saw the Coast Guard come.
No,
so
we have no idea. They just kind of float off. So that's the last time we see those people in this eepisode, by the way. So literally the rescue Rangers part of it was maybe 5 minutes.
Yeah, that part's over. So So basically, like all these ships keep wrecking in this place near Canine Island, including theirs. So they get shipwrecked there. And Monty's just so confused.
Yeah, because a lot of this is Monty's doing because he is trying to get them to Canine Island, but to, I guess, help or recover this other ship or something. I can't remember exactly why they're going to Canaan Island in the first place post rescuing those people. But Monty's like, oh, I know Canaan Island. I'm a hero on Canaan Island. You know, he's like...
Yeah, he's got a mountain named after him.
Right. Seems like he's exaggerating. And he's like, I know the directions. I just follow the stars. So he's following, like, seeing these stars in the sky. There's some that are like the dead dog constellation and stuff. There's some weird ones.
It was like, I think it was Canine Rigor Mortis or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Was the name of one of the constellations. And they're like, wait, the one that looks like a dead dog?
Yeah.
It did just look like like a dog upside down.
Yeah. And so he's following the stars and he's like, we don't have to worry about wrecking, like just follow this path. But they do end up they hit like a part of a coral reef or something. And he's almost like Gadget in the last episode. Like he's losing confidence in what's going on because he's like, why is none of this the way that I remember it being?
Yeah. So yeah, he kind of goes through a little bit of that journey, a very similar journey without him losing all confidence in himself.
Right.
Like she does. He's just very much questioning everything.
Right. He's more confused than he is losing confidence.
Yeah. He's not smart enough to lose all of his confidence. He's just confused.
He's just like, I know I'm right. Why is everything going wrong?
Yeah. We find out what has been happening because there's this fun scene that I really liked, and this is what I want to talk about, where Fat Cat and his crew go up to that big ship that had sunk, and they cut it open. It turns out that they had rigged something to sink that ship, but when they cut it open, they find out that they sank the wrong ship, and just what ensues there is just funny because like one of his henchmen's like, what's the difference? It's just like the whole point is they're trying to rob it. So now they're just robbing some random ship that like might not even have anything worth stealing.
The henchmen were just like, well, let's just leave it behind. And he's like, no, I'm still like Fat Cat's like, no, I'm still greedy. Like we're still going to take everything. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, I'm still greedy. I loved that whole exchange. That was great.
Fat Cat's ultimate goal here is to capture Moby Cobb, which is like this super like rare fish or something that he wants to taste for himself. He feels like he deserves since no one else can capture it.
And was it that there's another ship coming in and that was the one he wanted to sink and rob?
Yeah.
And what was on that ship that was going to help him catch Moby Cobb?
I can't remember exactly what was on the ship. Like that's such like a small part of what's actually going on that I've forgotten like what they were actually after, what he was actually after.
Yeah. I mean, at least you're not alone there.
Yeah.
But anyway, like it turns out what's happening, the whole point of everything is that they are actually at Firefly Island, and Fat Cat had convinced all these fireflies to go way up in the sky and form some of the constellations that sailors use to navigate, the ones that are close to Canine Island, and form them near Firefly Island, which is getting everyone confused, and they're hitting the coral reefs and sinking so that he can loot them.
Right, which is why Monty got confused because he was following the wrong constellations. So he had like the right idea, but was misled. And this is where Zipper comes into play. We get a big Zipper save here.
I definitely have a question about this one. I have a big question.
He dresses up like,
they put him in drag.
Yeah, like a bombshell kind of fly lady to attract the fireflies.
Yeah.
And then like the fireflies like butt starts popping, like their actual light pops.
Well, yeah, that's their with fireflies, that's their mating thing, is like that's when they light up.
Yeah.
But so that was basically them getting like all hot and bothered with seeing Zipper.
Yeah, and then their light explodes, so the lights go out, or they just get like drawn away from the I guess doing the actual job of creating these constellations.
Yeah, they start following him.
The initial ship that he was trying to sink is like, we see like like the actual constellations, we're going the wrong way, and so they veer off and save themselves.
This was my question. So they dress Zipper up as the female, and Gadget says, "Wow, Zipper, you're gorgeous." And I'm like, once we get to the movie, we know that Zipper and Gadget are married with lots of children. I'm like, is this where it started? Is this where it began? Like, this was what made Gadget's butt light go off.
But you're forgetting that this was all a show that they were doing together, not the reality of what was happening.
Hey, man, movie stars fall in love with their co-stars all the time,
Sure. All right.
It happens.
Hey, however you want to fanfic this for yourself, that's fine.
Yeah.
But
hey, everyone, you can check. I'll let you know when I post my fanfic on fanfic.net about Zipper and Gadget and about how this was like when Gadget knew.
Right. That's the moment. Yeah.
But she kept calling him Whizzer, and like it really bothered him. Like, even like once they got married, he was just like, that one time you kept calling me Zipper or Whizzer. that really bothered me. They had to go to couples therapy.
Right. Just to get past that.
Yeah. It's true. This is all going to be in my fan fiction.
The way this wraps up is interesting. And I'm like, is Fat Cat going to get killed or something? Is he dead? Because
he's going to die. Yeah.
So everything, wrap it up by saying everything that Monty has said is true. He is like a hero on Cannon Island. He does know all these dogs on Cannon Island. They're friends with him.
And there's a mountain named after him.
And he does have a mountain named after him. And so it's customary to bring a gift or to exchange gifts when you meet up on Cannon Island. And so as gifts, he's bringing Fat Cat and his crew. But it's like, these are all dogs. So it's like, what is going to happen to Fat Cat and his crew of another cat, a snake, I think, and like a mole, I think is other.
Yeah. It's the last episode they were ever seen.
Yeah. So if that is true, then you know what happened.
Oh, yeah. They're gone. So that's it.
Well, Chris, looks like it's about time we send our kids to help the Rescue Rangers solve some crimes that went slipping through the cracks and maybe grab us some delicious cult soda while they're out. Then see what they thought of Chippendale Rescue Rangers.
I didn't think I would like this show, but it was really fun. Weirdly, though, I didn't care that much about Chip or even Dale. I just want to watch a show all about Monty, Gadget, and Zipper, and maybe Fat Cat. But can't we just start calling him Husky Cat? It's making me feel self-conscious.
This show was silly and fun and kind of made me want to start up a detective agency with whatever animals I could find in my backyard. So far in the aquarium, aka headquarters, I've got a squirrel, a frog, a lizard, and a fly. Wait, what happened to the fly? Zipper, no!
Ooh, that is unfortunate.
Yeah,
oh, no.
We never recovered little Zipper.
Yeah, well, win some, you lose some. I used to collect a lot of little animals, like critters in my backyard. It was usually like frogs and salamanders, and occasional turtle. So.
I used to collect spiders a lot, like jumping spiders.
Oh, God, you were one of those weird kids.
No, those were the coolest. Jumping spiders are the best. They're so cute.
Tim Burton would have loved you.
Yeah.
He would have written you as a character. The little kid collecting spiders in his backyard. What's wrong with you?
I know there's some other people out there who did the same thing. If you also collected spiders in your backyard, let us know.
Or don't.
No, please do.
Yeah.
Reach out, send pictures.
Or don't. So like, what did you, everything that we talked about, what would you consider rating this one overall?
So I came into this show a little worried it wasn't going to hold up to all the nostalgic hype that the recent movie filled me with, because that really made me look fondly back at the episodes I had watched and be like, oh man, that was such a good series. But I was seeing that with like my, remembrance of what had happened, plus the movie kind of strengthening that. So fortunately, I was wrong, and it really did hold up very well and still very great in its own way. So the characters, they all had layered personalities, their own strengths and weaknesses, and even their own story arcs through the show that we got to see a couple of. The comedy was universal enough to appeal to kids and parents, and I think even modern audiences could appreciate it. And plus, the theme song is one of those fantastic forever earworms. So overall, a really great show. I'd give Chippendale Rescue Rangers 5 big bowls of cheese cereal out of 5, and feel like this one still stands relatively tall next to those late 80s, early 90s Disney classics like Darkwing Duck, Goof Troop, and DuckTales, which really speaks volumes.
Yeah, I was surprised how much I ended up really liking this because, again, it was something I avoided when I was a kid, like most of the Disney cartoons of that era. Like, to me, the animation didn't stand out as anything like super spectacular. It was like standard for the time, but the character designs themselves are great. Like, each character is so distinct, so memorable. And I love the personalities that they developed with them as well. Like, they fit so well. And I think the utilization of the Indiana Jones and Magnum PI looks for both Chip and Dale were genius because now it's just such an iconic look. Like, they wouldn't be the same and they wouldn't be memorable, as memorable without that look, you know? I think that's really what puts those two characters like over the edge as far as being standout characters is their look and designs. And I mean, good Lord, like Gadget pretty much kickstarted a whole generation of furries. So there's that. But I think what really stands out the most to me is the plot writing is actually really good. I mean, compared especially to other 80s cartoons at the time, where I think a lot of 80s cartoons shine is concept or witty dialogue. This one, it's like actually the plots of each episode are actually done really well. Like, there's mystery and it's not always obvious what is actually taking place within those mysteries. And I really, really like that because I want a show that keeps me on my toes. And the fact that an older cartoon, I can watch it now and it can still like trick me and stuff, I think is great because I think especially you and I who watch cartoons every week at this point get so conditioned to like these stereotypes and plot points and stuff like that I feel like we can usually see which way a story is going. But this one actually caught me off guard twice. So I really appreciated that. So all in all, I'd give Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers 5 big bowls of Cuckoo Cola cereal out of 5, which is probably really bad for your teeth. Mixing the cereal with cereal and cola. Anyway.
Oh, but you know people do it or have done it. It's so gross.
I know. I feel like I know someone that has done that before. So, anyway.
Well, listeners, looks like our milk supply is now run dry, so it's time for us to say goodbye. And next week, we'll be watching
Velma, because apparently we're masochists now.
I have heard so many bad things about it. So I'm going to try to go in with an open mind, but I feel like I will share the views that other people are having towards it.
Yeah, I'm going to try to go in as open as possible. And folks, this is an example of why we're getting rid of the old system because we would not have touched this one for years. But now we can hit something topical because we have had a slew of people ask us to do Velma.
So we're doing it.
Now we can.
For better or for worse.
Yeah. So
probably worse.
You'll get to listen to us. You get to listen to our thoughts and maybe our woes and our crying next week.
It's been a while since we've had a good suffering episode. So I think this might be...
we haven't had a good old cry and suffer for a while. So
yeah, no one's punished us lately. So here we go.
Yeah, let's get on with that suffering. Let's do that.
Yeah. Well, once again, I'm Joseph.
And I'm Chris.
And we'll see you next Saturday.
Presented by Nerdsloth,
a place for lazy nerds.
If you like what you heard, consider donating at patreon.com/nerdsloth so we can continue bringing you quality shows. Be sure to also leave us a review and share your favorite episodes and clips on social media. If you're looking for more content, visit us at nerdsloth.com.
Mom, can you tell me a story?
Sure. Once upon a time, a mom needed a new car.
Was she brave?
She was tired, mostly. But she went to Carvana.com and found a great car at a great price. No secret treasure map required.
Did she have to fight a dragon?
Nope. She bought it 100% online. From her bed, actually.
Was it scary?
Honey, it was as unscary as car buying could be.
Did the car have a sunroof?
It did, actually.
Okay, good story.
Car buying you'll want to tell stories about. Buy your car today on
Carvana.
Delivery fees may apply.